For those of you who don't know Kevin Steen, he's the current ROH Ring of Honor World Champion. He's a real tough individual, he's a very violent man, and everywhere he's been, he's left a trail of broken bodies. And not only does Kevin Steen have a very vicious bite, he's also got a really loud bark. He's really brutally honest, hell, hurtfully honest even. And he didn't really have a character per se like a lot of wrestlers do. He's just himself. And he just goes out and he talks about people's mistakes and their flaws, and he makes light of them. And he's very good at doing that. He's more or less a bully when it's all said and done. Well, for the first time ever, on October 5th, Matt Hardy and Kevin Steen go one-on-one. And Kevin Steen earlier this week made some real biting comments about me, and I'm sure he probably thought they would offend me, or anyone else who's seen his comments thought they would offend me, but in reality they don't. There's a lot of things there that he's talked about that I've wanted to address for a while, and I'm going to address them now. Because one thing I have done in the last year, I've truly empowered myself, and I take pride in the truth of my own reality. Here's Kevin Steen.
Just a couple of days, I get to step into the ring with Matt Hardy. Now I'm pretty excited about this one, and Matt, if this was a few years ago, I'd be excited because I get to wrestle a guy that I watched as I grew up perform some of the most exciting, death-defying moves that I've ever seen. But that's not why I'm excited. See, Matt, over the last few years, you've made a lot of terrible choices. A lot of poor judgment calls.
You know, you talk about me making terrible decisions, using poor judgment. Well, I am guilty of that. And I've certainly done my fair share of making bad decisions over the course of my life. And it's not something I'm going to try and hide, not something I can hide. It's all out there for everyone to see, and I totally, openly acknowledge it. My first bad decision making was probably when I first started with WWE in 98, 99. I was on the road 300 days a year. I was doing every spot in the book, taking every chance I could do. I wasn't afraid to take a risk every night, regardless if there was 1,000 people there or 100,000. The veterans, they would come up to me, they'd say, Matt Hardy, you got to slow down. You can't use everything you have in your playbook every night because you're going to end up in a wheelchair by the time you're 30. I didn't slow down. Hell, I didn't listen to them at all. If anything, I sped up, and I just wanted to prove them wrong. The reason I did that, it was my passion for the business, my love to try and go out and prove I could be one of the greats and entertain the people night in and night out. Was that a smart decision? Probably not. And you know, it was 10 years of not just on pay-per-view, but virtually every night for a couple years, doing ladder matches, table matches, cage matches, TLC matches, destroying my body, and just sacrificing it all because wrestling was my passion. I made a choice. I made a decision, a very bad decision, to try and do whatever I had to do to perform at the same level I did for those years before. And it didn't pay off, and it cost me in the end. It was certainly in poor judgment, because what I did as a way to try and be passionate and continue to do what I loved, it just spun my creativity out of control. It put me into a downward spiral, both professionally and personally. And all it did was make me full of controversy, darkness, hate, hell, grapes, tasers. You know it all. Everyone knows the story. No one caused it except me. I brought it all upon myself. There's no excuse for anyone's conduct in this business because we all control our actions, and I own all that. No one else did it. No WWE, no TNA, no Vince McMahon, no other wrestler, no pressure, no business. Matt Hardy did that to Matt Hardy. But I taught myself a lesson. Not that I wanted to, but I was forced to. I was forced to change if I was going to continue to exist. Looking back now, I can't change it. I wish I could, but I can't. So I have to own it.
I'm guilty of that too, but my poor judgment calls are this haircut, this beard, these tattoos, nothing that really impacts the world, right? My poor judgment calls have never gotten me on TMZ. My poor judgment calls never affected the sport of professional wrestling.
I have to apologize to all the people I hurt, all the people I offended. I have to apologize to this industry. And the only thing I can do is try and correct the negative impacts I made by making a positive impact, by giving back. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in a great place, and I've been gifted, I've been blessed with a lot of knowledge, and I can give that back. And that's what I'm doing, Kevin Steen. If you want to hold those sins over my head, that's fine. You can. But when it's all said and done, I got to this place for a purpose. God allowed me to get to this place in my life for a purpose. One thing I did learn during that time is that I have a lot of people that care about me. I have people all over this planet that care about me. And I never realized how extensive and how big of a deal that was until I jeopardized it.
Now the reason I'm real excited for this match is because I intend to put a beating on you that will make you wish you were falling from a 30-foot ladder. And Matt, you want to know why I want to do this to you? I don't want to beat up the guy that I used to look up to. I want to beat up the grape-eating idiot that put all those videos on YouTube and made the rest of the wrestlers of the world look like morons for the rest of the planet.
I feel sorry for you because of what you are, what you represent. You're just a bad person, a mean, nasty person with a diseased, rotten soul. You think it's cool because you're not a character, you're just you. And you go online, you insult people, you insult who you're wrestling, you insult the wrestling fans. Kevin Steen, you're just plain and simple an asshole. I am going to make you pay for your sins the way God made me pay for my sins last year. I'm going to make your life a living hell this Friday. And Kevin, when it's all said and done, you will realize that you've never faced anyone with the passion and spirit and life force of Matt Hardy.
I'll see you on Friday night. And you know that little saying that you won't die? I'm gonna change that forever. Team Extreme my fucking ass.
So you're gonna put an end to me, huh, Kevin? October the 5th, you're gonna put an end to me forever. No longer can I use the expressions, the Matt Hardy will not die. The Matt Hardy is stronger than death. You're gonna kill off me and my catchphrases. You're gonna murder me, you say. Kevin, there's a reason I earned these nicknames. And it's because I'm one of the toughest son of a bitches you have ever stepped in the ring with. And now, you're not just facing Matt Hardy. You're facing an evolved human being who's had an amazing life experience. Whether it's been good or bad, it's all equated to who I am right now. Maybe it was destiny that brought us together, that crossed our paths, Kevin Steen. But for you, it's a very fortunate twist of fate. Because on Friday, October the 5th, for PWX in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's going to be the best and the worst day of your career. The reason it's going to be the worst day of your career is because I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Not only am I going to beat some respect and humanity into you, I'm going to give you the hardest, strongest, most vicious beating that the machine known as Kevin Steen has ever suffered. The reason it's going to be the best day for you is this beating is going to change you. And it's going to save you from your own worst enemy, which is yourself. You're going to be in for a true revelation. For a white light experience, something that's going to change your life forever, courtesy of me. May God be with you, Kevin Steen.
Keep coming back. I got a family to feed.
Get with it, boy.